Niko Gulf na making 44,000 at the end of the month and niko 27 years old. Okay? Na nyumbani kila mtu ana rely on mimi. Yani unapata kila kitu. Wakihitaji chakula ni mimi. Wakihitaji school fees ya my sister mwenye ako nyumbani ni mimi. Wakihitaji anything developmental, hata group zenye wako, mimi ndio nafanya kuchangia na everything. Now to a point whereby, hata mimi mwenyewe I'm in a position whereby I can't even save. I've been here for the last 8 months. And if I tell you the amount of money ambao nimesave, you can't even imagine. And I'm worried. Contract yangu inawezaisha without me having a substantive amount of savings. And I've been here, the purpose of me being here ni at least ni raise capital, niende nyumbani, niangalie some areas where I can be able to invest. Can you imagine this? That was a text that actually received from an individual. Actually was a call from an individual lamenting situation yenye anapitia from them working from that place that they are. So wakati nikiwaambia you guys, the black tax is real in our country. And a lot of people who are outside the country are actually facing facing a very tough moments and they cannot even be able to save their money. And this is the challenges yenye huwa wanapitia. Number one, the one challenge is that some of them do have money, all right? Some of them are not getting disturbed by their family members back at home. They do have the cash, but they do not know even where and how they can be able to invest. And if you're in that position, yesterday I made a video and explained to you the areas where you can be able to invest even without bothering your family members or anybody or without trusting anybody out there. Kuna some areas where you can be able to invest your money, without any issue. The other area, if you're in such a situation like this wonderful individual here who is facing such kind of such kind of a challenge, it is real and it is out there. Well, kitu ya kwanza before taniseme anything venye unafaa kufanya. Mimi as Joseph nina support watu wa support familia zao. I do not have any problem with that. Watu wasaidia familia zao, support them wherever they are if you can and if you're in a position to. And again, ukiwasaidia pia wewe jisaidie. Even the Bible inatuambianga kuna venye unaweza toa sijui what kutoka kwa jicho la mtu bila wewe kutoa. There's something of sort, you can confirm it. So meaning ukisaidiana pia na wewe jisaidie. I'll give you a very simple scenario. What happens is that if you help them overly and support them in all the areas that they want, to a point whereby you actually do not even have any savings, and then you come back home, you have nothing. They expect you to do a lot because, hey, ulikuwa ngambo, and then you come back home, you tell them, hey, I do not have money. They ask you why. You tell them, why? Because I was sending you all the cash to a point whereby I was not saving. Guess what they will tell you? Hey, they won't tell you directly, but they'll be mongering you here and there, saying, hey, you are stupid, you don't know how to manage your cash and all, and you are helping them. This is a real thing that happens out there. So what does that exactly tell you? It is good to be generous. It's good to be kind, but don't be over generous to a point whereby you do not even have your own personal savings, because you also need to have what we call the personal development, the personal savings, and personal growth. Now, this is how you do it. First of all, I do not know whether you have ever told them the amount of money that you usually earn from that specific place that you are. Number one, there are 6 things that I told you people, you should never, ever, ever, ever share with people, no matter who they are. Number one, never ever share about your income. Never share about your income. Number one, never share about your income. Number two, never share about your next move. All right. Number 3, never share about your goals. Okay. Number 3, never share about your love story. All right. Those are just but 4. Never share about your income. Never share about your next move. Never share about your love life and all those kind of things. All right. These are the things that you're supposed to do. What? Share even things to do with your investment. Never share about your investment and all those kind of things. So if you keep all these things secret, it means at the end of the day, if you tell them that you're earning 44K at the end of the month, they already know, hey, there you're being given food, you do not have a lot of expenses. So even if you task you giving us 20,000 or half of this, you're remaining with half of that, then you can. You see, some of them wanakupigia sub in this life. So what you're supposed to do, if you have not told them amount of money that you earn at the end of the month, keep it a secret. Don't tell them. And the moment you realize they're really pressing you to a point whereby, hey, it is good you support them, by the way. You're the only one who knows how your family is, and it's good to support them. But if you realize it's reaching to a point whereby you cannot be able even to save anything for yourself, always ask yourself, hey, you'd rather even cook a story that is not there in existence. Just let them know, hey, you know what? There is something that has changed. My income has actually changed and what have you and all those kind of things. Guys, bear with me and something of sort. Because you need to be, you don't talk rude to them, because if you do, or if maybe you cut that help that you've been helping them, obviously you're going to make enemies. And I don't think it's good to make enemies with the family members. But sometimes you're forced to, by the way. So you realize one thing, before you even send anything to them, first of all, once you get the 44,000 at the end of the month, this is what I would advise you to do. You get your 44K. This is what I would advise you to do, okay? You get, for example, if you are in Kenya, I would advise you to save at least 20% of your total income, all right? I would advise you save at least 20% of your total income. But now here you are outside the country and you're focusing on towards actually accumulating more money so that when you come back home, you can be able to invest. Now, what do? I would advise if you can be able to save 40% to 50%, meaning half of what you're getting, that would be amazing. If you're getting 44,000, set aside 22,000, and you're remaining with 22,000. Now, out of the 22,000, now plan this amount of money. Hey, this is where you'll be able to get them the black tax, all right? And again, the amount of money that you're gonna save here depends on the responsibilities that you have back at home. Let's say you have some kid back at home that you have to school. Obviously, even if I tell you to save 50%, you may not be able to do exactly that. So adjust according to you. But if you do not have more responsibility, like for this wonderful soul here, they do not have, I'm avoiding using the pronouns here. They do not have any responsibility in terms of kids educating and all those kinds, unless they are sisters and the siblings, okay? So if you can manage to be able to save half of your salary and remain with the half and plan yourself with the other half, that will be the first thing that you're supposed to do. Immediately after getting that salary, focus on doing what? Focus on saving that good percentage, and then the rest that actually remains out there, that's what you can think of helping your family members with. All right, are we together up to that particular point? Because even if you say, hey, you have your 44,000 and then they call you, hey, I want this, you send them, I want this, you send them. By the time you realize, everything has gone south. So it is good you make sure that at least make sure that you take the half and save it. And once you do that, now you're remaining with this amount of money. Sometimes you can even disclose and tell them this is amount of money you earn, and then out of this amount of money, tell them, hey, you have to pay this, you have to pay 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're remaining, let's say, with like 15,000. Guys, now tell me, how can we be able to help each other out of the 15,000? And I also want to save something. You might end up actually realizing, you wiring them 5,000. You see, you need to be wise. Yeah, I understand, nasema udanganyi hapo hapa kule, lakini ukweli ni sometimes inakubidi tu, kwa sababu usipokuwa mjanja, otherwise you might come back home, hauna chochote, haujasave kila kitu, ama hujasave kitu chochote, and then you want to invest and you want to grow yourself. So the point is this. Kitu ya kwanza, understand. Kama zile vitu ambazo wanakuitisha, you support them. There are areas that they can actually go and handle themselves. Try to sit them down. Talk to them, waongelesha. Even if this is a hard conversation, talk to them, tell them, hey, you know what guys, the reason as to why nimekuja huku hivi, I'm trying to sum up some cash, I come back home, I invest, and it will not only be of help to me, it will also be of help to you. But if you're back at home and then you are inquiring almost everything that I'm earning, it means it is true, mtakula, mtakunywa, and then hamtaendelea, because kukula na kukunywa is not the development. And also from my end, I'll just be working, I won't have any progress. I'll come back home and we'll go back to the same problem. You see, when you are financially literate, when you have the information, you can sit them down and talk to them, tell them, hey, you know what guys, at this particular point, I would love us to have an engagement. I would love us to have a conversation. Otherwise, if you continue with this, we might get ourselves to the same problem. Guess what? Majority of them, they won't agree with you. Majority of them, they would think, hey, you're trying to be, mean, frugal, minimalist, and all those kind of stingy or something. But the point is this. If you can be a little bit mean for that period of time that you will be there, because that is not fun that you are there. You are not there for a vacation. You are there to make money. And once you come back home, you invest, and then you can help them substantively. They will forget whether you actually ignore them back when you are there. But if you do the vice versa, you actually be over kindness. You support them. You do not have any savings. You come back home. You have no money to start an investment. They ask you the question and then you tell them that. Then they will tell you, you are not smart. You could have actually planned yourself. This is a real thing. It's something that I can actually relate, and I've actually dealt with lots of guys who have told me that is exactly what transpired out there. So the point is this: be very keen, be very vigilant. to your money. Surely, surely, surely. At this particular point, it calls you to be selfish, because for you to grow, for you to develop, for you to proceed, and for you to actually step forward into making something that we call steps towards what we call the financial freedom, it needs you to be selfish. It needs you to be frugal. It needs you to be a minimalist. It needs you to be kind of appear stingy. It needs you to be kind of mean. That is the only way you can grow yourself. But be mean for the purposes of your growth, so that you can have the capacity to help them. Because that is what I'm saying. Helping people is not bad, but helping them when you do not have the capacity, and you're helping them to a point whereby you and them, nobody is actually progressing. At that particular point, I don't even frame it as a help. I actually, that's kind of a consumable or liability or something of sort. Be very careful, and you do not get yourself into this thing. But the very first thing is this: do not share any amount of money that you're earning out there. Number two, if you do not have a way of actually sending your money to your account without engaging any third party in between, that will be the most amazing thing. But if you do, then consider actually looking forward into having a way that you can actually open an account back here in Kenya and be able to channel that money, so that you don't get the frustrations once you come back home in this country. All right, guess what, guys? That's the end of my video. But guess what? It is not the end of me posting each and every day, because I do so each and every day. And if you don't want to miss any of my good videos, do this. Doesn't cost you anything, and it's free of charge. Down below there on your right, there is a small button written subscribe. Hit that magical button, and as well like this video. And don't forget, you can grab as well my number from the description of this specific video and have a conversation with me. If you would like us to have an engagement at a personal level, I offer those services at a coffee price, at a cup of coffee's price. All right, don't forget to as well like the video. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.